off the season next week. How you feeling going into it?
I'm excited. And I don't know if we're ready or not, but I feel like we're growing rapidly right now. I think we're starting to come together. I think we're in an interesting phase as a team where what we do as a program is starting to become ours instead of just the new coach's philosophy or the new coach's style. I think the players are just starting to take ownership of the identity that we're trying to build. So that's been fun the last couple of weeks, that you start to see a real connectedness and a buy-in. So hopefully we can keep moving down that path.
In what ways do you see that buy-in and that really understanding of your philosophy versus the new coaches?
When they start coaching themselves on things that normally the coaches have been the only ones communicating on. That you see these guys communicate with one another in a different, in a way with more conviction. And just a greater understanding and an understanding of their mistakes. The mistakes that we're making are starting to become clear. We're still making them, but the fact that they're starting to understand some of the things we're trying to do, the habits that we're trying to build. When you're correct, guys, there's less resistance, there's less confusion about what's going on. There's a clearer understanding of what it is we need to get done.
So, you're taking over a team that made the tournament last year, and you returned a couple of starters. I guess, who's so far has impressed you the most in your upper-class backcourt? They've really taken leadership roles?
We're still developing some leadership, but I will say that Kane he's done a great job of really, I think Kane probably, I haven't said this to him, he probably was the one who had the right to be the most skeptical. He's played the most, he's had the biggest role on successful teams. So to come in and do things a lot differently, he's the one guy who probably could give some resistance. And he's actually been the most bought in. And so I do think Kane's presence and leadership has helped with some of that buy-in that I was just referring to. I think he's a guy that starts with, and Dame has been right there with him. And so we have some guys that are still on the outside trying to figure things out, but the attitudes are being right.
You've been here a few months. What are your early impressions of Atlanta and just this area and the Georgia State basketball atmosphere?
Yes, the city is great. It's a great city in a multitude of ways that we can talk about all day, right? But as a basketball community, it's an unbelievable city. Grassroots, middle school, high school, college basketball, and then you got all the energy with the Hawks and their franchise. So there's a great basketball community here. What I've noticed that inside that basketball community, our program and our institution is a part of the fabric of Atlanta. And there's a lot of people here who I feel like want to see us do well. And that's been really neat, and that's been a consistent message that I've received in my travels around the city, is that there's a lot of people that just want to see Georgia State do well. So that's been great.
You have a lot of turnover on the roster. You lost a lot of starters, some graduating seniors. Just what's the transition been like? Got some red shirts who were out last year, now finally starting to play. So it's just a lot of movement with the roster. How's the team just handling that? And a lot of guys that were reserves last year, they're gonna have to be starters this year.
It's our first roster.
Yeah.
So I didn't coach the guys who left, so I don't have that perspective on guys leaving and turnover. When you're new as a coach, everything's new. Our system is new to the players are new to me, and so that's the fun part. Even with my staff, we're working together for the first time. So that part of the journey is actually what makes it exciting, building something together. We know that even if you have the same players back, you never have the same team twice. That you're always evolving and changing, and so there's nothing but change. But it's all new, and it's been a great journey for us thus far.
What about the freshmen, Jalen Thomas, and Joe Jones, two big men, two post players? What about them? What do you see from their development? I know it's very early, but they bring some size to the team for you.
Great upside. Both kids with some toughness, typical in terms of being freshmen and being new to college and learning what it takes to compete at this level, but both very competitive and have all the qualities to be great college players. So we're excited about their future. We need them to help us sooner, but long term, both going to be very, very good players.
Yeah, Corey and Justin, redshirts from last year, finally able to play. What's the benefit for them or for you having guys who played at the collegiate level? They had to sit out, but at least they have some experience playing, at the D1 level for you.
The real benefit is that they're good, and they can both really shoot, and they can play. Guys with experience that can't play, there's not much benefit there. These guys are really good players. They shoot the ball at a high percentage. The fact that they have been sitting out has they've brought an energy and a level of urgency to practice every day because they're dying for the opportunity to play. So they've both been tuned in and been fun guys to coach.